The director's job is to take a script and to, in his mind, come up with how it's going to look on film. He has to take all of those words and figure out how best to mix it together so that it makes one cohesive film. So let's talk about this very quickly about how a director would probably set up a particular scene. In this case, I have a character who is the leader of Hamster Vice, Hammy here. He's a cop. He's an animal. He's a hamster. And imagine that he's off camera right now, and he just told a perpetrator that he may not wish to do what he's thinking about doing. He might just say, "I wouldn't do that if I were you." So the director has to say, okay, what's the most impactful way to show this character being revealed to the criminal's face? For example, "I wouldn't do that if I were you." And then we have the camera move and show the character like this. Or is it more impactful to have the character probably start here and move up? So once again, "I wouldn't do that if I were you." So what the director has to do is decide this kind of angle for every single shot in the film. You have to think about it. In the movie Godzilla, for example, what's the best way for the director to show Godzilla for the very first time in the film? And as an aspiring filmmaker, you might want to ponder this yourself to think like a director. All right, so it's raining, it's a lightning storm, and then how does Godzilla show up? You have to ask yourself this question. So one option is to, of course, show the lightning storm and then have the camera out at sea, maybe go under the waves, and then we see this shape, and then an eye opens as the lightning strikes. And that's one way to show that Godzilla is in the movie. Another way is to maybe show an angle from the ocean's perspective, and we're looking at Tokyo, and Godzilla loves to destroy Tokyo for some unknown reason. And then we're looking at Tokyo, and then all of a sudden we have a gigantic swell in the water, and then his fins break the surface of the water, and then we hear his roar. And that's another way to show Godzilla. Another way to show Godzilla in the film for the first time is maybe from the perspective of the villagers who are evacuating. All right, so we have lightning and this thunder, and then all of a sudden we hear these gigantic footsteps, boom, boom, and then we see this like car being completely crushed by this gigantic foot. Then the camera tilts up and we see this gigantic 250-foot tall shadow. Lightning strikes and we see the entire shape of Godzilla as he roars. So that is what your job is as a director, to decide how every single piece of that script is going to come alive in the most exciting way. Now, of course, you don't want to overdo it. I have seen some movies where I'm shaking my head going, all right, just because you can use all of these tricks does not necessarily mean you should. So try to keep the tricks and the drama down to a minimum to get the most impact. Every single shot can't be the best shot in the world, because then you'd lose a lot of the impact. So save the best stuff for last, or save it to reveal a character, or for fight scenes, or for car chases, so that the movie can have its ups and downs like a roller coaster. You don't want to give everybody a drop and a drop and a drop. You want to climb up gently, then give them like a 300-foot drop, then another 200-foot drop, and so on. So as a director, take your time, study film, turn the sound off, and just simply study it. Watch what the director is doing, and sooner or later you'll get the feel for what shots are best. And there is no right and wrong with this. So that's the best part about this whole thing. Directing is up to your own personal vision.